Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gents. Welcome back to the West Lothian International Bowls Arena for the semi-finals of the Ambassador Cruise Line Scottish International Open. Coming up very shortly, we've got Sam Tolchard against Stewart Anderson. But having a look at what's coming up later on, we have got at 2 o'clock on the WBT socials, the Scottish Young Masters Final. And then at 4 o'clock, it is the Ambassador Cruise Line Scottish International Open Final here at West Lothian. So let's not wait any further. Let's welcome out our first player. And first out, we have a player who made it through the PBA qualifier in Dolphin to secure his place here, beating the world number 12 and number 5 to make it to the semi-finals. Please put your hands together for England's Sam Tolchard. His opponent for this match. We have a man with 11 WBT titles to his name, including 3 times former winner of this event. Welcome out, world number 1, Scotland's Stewart Anderson. Can hand you up to Paul Mitchell in the commentary box.
Thank you very much indeed. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Scottish International Open 2025, our second semi-final. I'm Paul Mitchell. Darren Burnett is alongside me. Darren, commentators are often accused of abusing statistics, but this one, in the last 4 seasons, Stewart Anderson is 16-1 in this tournament. That is quite a remarkable run.
Yeah, it is. I think Stewart very much enjoys playing on the surface. Usually a very true surface to play on at West Lothian. All the rinks are pretty similar. And he certainly has enjoyed his time at this venue, and his record speaks for itself. That said, Sam has played very well this week already in every game. He's looked impressive.
So we're underway in this second semi-final. Stewart Anderson with the white balls and the white stickers. It's not going to be too difficult to tell these guys apart.
Yeah, it's a little bit clearer this game.
Wonderful yellow and a smudge of blue zigzags. And the green stickers for Sam Tolchard. Four of the qualifiers made it past round number 1, which is not an easy thing to do. 2 then progressed to the quarter-final stage. Lloyd Sabatini beaten by Paul Foster. Sam Tolchard successful yesterday against Les Gillett. A very tight game. He just kept control of. Finds himself in the semi-final.
Yeah, and both players, I think this is Sam's second time on this particular rink, and it's Stewart's third time, so definitely helps a little. When you've been on the rink that many times, then you should definitely know it. Interesting when they come back down towards our end, because I know in the last game Sam played the backhand coming down, which hasn't really been the hand many have chose to play, and I'm quite sure Stewart will stick to the swingy forehand that most have played. It could make for an interesting battle if that is how this game pans out.
Very deliberate delivery from Sam Tolchard.
He's definitely closer this time.
Perfectly played. easy one for Stewart Anderson to counter, 1 ball each to play.
Similar shot for Stewart, I think, just trying to draw on the forehand.
I've watched a couple of Stewart's games this week. He's very much been on form from the opening round. Great tussle against David Bolt. That opening round came through on the tie break.
Well, his line's good. Has he got enough pace? Not quite. Well, good Sam's memory. He just has to try and repeat his last. Did happen to draw and touch the jack. He could make 3. Not much room. And another good track. Just going to run out of pace, I think.
Well, he's on the card first.
Shot, Sam Tolchard.
And takes the opening end of this second semi-final for the right to play Mark Dawes, who's reached the final for the first time. So Mark Dawes, who won just that little bit earlier against Paul Foster. In this position, what do? Do you wander away, you try and get away from the venue, or do you come and watch this game? What would the thinking be?
No, I think Mark will get out the venue. It's it's absolutely roasting out there when you're playing. So I think he's got quite a bit of family up with him. So I think they'll go and possibly get a light bite to eat. Just get yourself away, regroup, refresh, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who he plays out of these two. He knows he's going to be in a tough game. It's the final of a major event, so I don't think he'll pay much attention to. And he'll know both players' games anyway. So I'm quite sure he'll be away, giving himself a couple of hours out of here.
Nicely played by Stewart Anderson. Sam Tolchard with his yellow and blue balls. He plays indoor at Torquay United. We share the name of the local football team whose colours are yellow and blue.
Just underplayed this again.
Stewart on the forehand.
He's in again.
He's well played.
Certainly no backhand draw now. It's got to be a forehand draw, or he elects to attack. But it's a forehand draw. Well, he's on a good track. It's about pace now.
That's the shot.
Good switch of hand.
It looked good all the way down, didn't it?
Yeah, he was out on a really nice line. It was all about pace, and his pace was good. Stewart will just come down just to look at the situation of his own white balls, and if there's an option for him to try and promote them in. He's Still has the forehand draw available just to sit onto Sam's ball, fall back on the jack, he makes a 3. The other option is to come down a bit quicker and look to promote his own. Just slightly careful if he does play that shot, he doesn't play it too quick and split his own 2 out the head.
Quite early in the match as well. If he'll just opt for the draw. As you mentioned, both shots are available to him.
He's shaping up in the backhand. I think he'll just play this over the draw. Don't think he'll go too quick. Yeah, he's certainly playing it with a very controlled pace. Just wants the right contact on his own ball. Push it onto the jack. Yeah, he's made the shot.
He'll take that. And you mentioned it's all about percentages. I mean, that draw shot was available to him, but he obviously felt the higher percentage was to just play that little bit of weight.
Yeah, and I think he played it with sensible weight. He was never going to take his own balls out the head. You know, it did offer more opportunity down that side. There's no doubt about it. Didn't quite get the connection he probably hoped for, but just getting the split and the run through was enough. Sam electing to go back to this side as well. He's looking to just turn the jack. He's close.
Oh, he's played it again. Nicely done.
Made a 2, I think.
Not only has he made the 2 down, they're not close enough together to come and try and lift out.
No, I think Stewart's going to have to go back onto his forehand and he just has to try and negotiate his own white ball there. That's going to be close to the path he's wanting to come in on. He just probably wants to be just inside it.
Got a chance here.
Oh well, maybe just fell off the jack. I think he's hard to tell. We slightly favour it still. One to Sam, but not much in it.
Stewart is happy that, well, he's not happy it's his opponent's ball. He's happy to acknowledge the fact that it is not his. That was a really good effort though.
Yeah, he played that well. Little unfortunate, to be honest. Having got into where he got, you would have expected him to come out with a shot. He just got a little bit of an unfortunate connection. Got a piece of Sam's bow, got a piece of the jack, and then he just sort of fell out.
Well, I mentioned Sam Tolchard qualified for this out of the Dolphin Club. He's been out and about in the last couple of weekends looking to qualify again for the World Pairs and the likes, but how close was it in the prelim? Isaac Jenner, he won by 6-5, 5-5. Now that was in the prelim for the qualifier, and here he is all those games later, because he won his next 5 games all without dropping a set.
Yeah, and I think the change in the rule that now allows people to just about go to every qualifier if they want to, pay their money, they can keep turning up. So I think what that has generated is the quality of qualifiers coming out are getting better and better. Back in my day, you could only go to one venue. You tried to qualify there, and if you didn't make it, that was you for that year. So I think now the fact they can sort of travel around all the different qualifying venues, it does make the standard of qualifier just gets better and better.
There's a couple of names on the list that I certainly recognise. Perry Martin, who took care of in round 1, Dave Hill, round 2, and it was quarter-final victory against Jack Larter. Alex Dytham in the semi-final, and Jamie Watkiss, again tight game, 7-2, 5-2. It was a long road that's brought him here. Against the man who's looking to win this for the 4th time It should be equalling the record just held by the Welshman, John Price. 3 comes. I worked with John Price on the Commonwealth Games that you were slightly busy playing in and winning, but there was a noise that we heard regularly, and it was coming, it was a clock, and it turned out it was coming from the university, but we did wonder for a while what it was. So I went away, did the research, and when it bonged, I explained to everybody what the noise was, and John just did me in beautifully, just turned and looked at me and just went, very interesting. He did me brilliantly, did John on that occasion.
He's done the same again, Stewart, almost an identical bowl.
The reason for telling that story and to bring it in is to mention that Sam, like Stuart's a Commonwealth Games player, so I mean the standard that he brings.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, as I said the other day, you know, Sam's undoubtedly got the skill to be a top 16 player. It's just, you know, it's not an easy thing to do, you know, and people have to work hard at it. They have to go to these qualifiers. That's a tough school to get out of. And then when they get here, it's trying to get a run like Sam's managed to put together this week, you know. But nothing's a given, you know. They have to turn up and earn it, you know. And then, you know, as I say, he's got all the skill level to be in the top 16 and be in it for many years.
Just falling out.
Yeah, he had the right line. Well, safer draw is the forehand, but does he trust himself just to draw round the last bowl with Sam's? Certainly has room. Just be mindful that his last 2 bowls have come underneath, so he doesn't want to be on the tight line. Certainly giving this more grass, out on a much wider line this time.
Yellow ball is the one he's got to beat. Just not going to come back in time for him.
Well,
Well,
he has flipped.
it's fall.
Three shots, Stuart?
Well, it did fall. I'll tell you what, from our angle, I didn't think so, Darren, but he took advantage of every bit of space he had to draw that 3rd shot.
Yeah, and he did the important thing of making sure he went out on the wider line, trusted the ball to come back. In the end, the pace was just good enough to let it fall back in.
And it can just be small margins. That ball sits up, it's 2, just comes across. Napoli takes the 3 shots and goes very long. Martin Jenkins is our marker for this one. Our umpire is Neil Bryce. Full length, it's a good opener.
Yeah, he gets the line down that side very well, Stewart.
Sam coming off the backhand.
Good reply. Just the overcorrection.
Just that little bit short.
How far short am I, please?
You're a 6-inch gap.
What's Stuart
Hughes last ball. 2 feet.
So a 6-inch gap, and then 2 feet is the distance advised by Martin Jenkins.
Yeah, decided to switch over to his forehand, I think, just try and beat Stewart in. Won't want to give Stewart another go at this. Ideally, he wants to come round the jack. His line was good for that. He's going to sit jack high. Stewart won't mind that. Just gives him a little bit more of a target to sort of full drop to.
He's a little bit pacey. He does have the ball at the back.
I think he's close here. Just doesn't want the gap.
Well, you look at it, you think how, but the gap was there. It's a line too, but
Sam, I think, will be playing the backhand now again. He's had a bit of a backhand, backhand, but he's popped 2 in, so he won't be caring. He's obviously confident down both sides. Ideally, he would probably want to sit on one of Stewart's balls, just stops Stewart getting the trail of the jack. You almost draw another shot here, but just sit behind would be the ideal spot. He's played this really well. That's perfect.
well, he couldn't have placed that any better if he'd walked down the rink with it.
Yeah, it's a perfect ball, and it probably forces Stewart to attack this now.
His front white one doesn't look good from that point of view.
No, and it's just far enough short not to be, great, but he can drive that right into the head, to be fair. Just misses it on the outside. He can sort of get a result off the wide ball. Sticking with just a full draw.
Well, he's confident that he won't go through that same gap.
He's very close, just needs to drop a little. Great ball, probably got second. Really good last ball there, especially if he's got the second shot.
On the marker. And a little look. Favours 2.
Still favours 2, so Sam will be really happy with that. Because there isn't a lot of room to add another, so
This might be a pretend ball. You pretend you're going to play it, but you're quite happy if you go nowhere near it. Although, Sam's been playing so well this week.
yeah, he's almost got the identical ball to his last. There isn't, apart from maybe falling onto the jack, there's not a lot of danger. Indicating that he hasn't just quite pushed this one.
Safety first. I don't think he'd be overly disappointed by that.
Tolchard. Score 3-4.
So Stuart Anderson 3, Sam Tolchard 4. Sam has taken 3 of the opening 4 ends to lead. So Sam's come through this competition. Beat Robert Paxton 7-6, 9-1 in his opening match. Very tight game against Elgin's Michael Stepney, 9-7, 9-7. And yesterday, tight first set against Les Gillett, 1-8-6, and then Les had to try and chase in the second. Dropped at 11-3, so he's managed to get here to this stage without dropping a set, which is highly impressive.
Through the duster. Don't know if he's too sure about this one. His line looks good, so it can only be pace. Not too bad.
Is urging that forward, which will suggest that it is short. You mentioned the duster that Sam Tolchard has. Some players, I mean, you see that more outdoors, people with a cloth, especially if it's damp. See it less indoors, but some players just like almost the comfort of it to know it's there.
Yeah, I think so, and I think more indoor. Certainly the heat out there. I use one primarily just because it is so warm. You want the surface of your hand to be as dry as possible. Just so you're releasing the ball as consistently as you can every time. I think most players it will be more for that, just to take a bit of moisture off your hands. And I think yesterday at one point in the stadium we were about 26 or 27 degrees, so yeah. I was almost looking for my sun cream, it was that warm.
Yeah, the choice between Lanzarote or Livingston.
It's a really good ball from Sam. His first one was a good start and he's just corrected slightly, so can Stewart make the adjustment on his? Looks like he's under the line.
This is Jack High. Let's see if it's still 2 shots.
Favour is just 1, Sam, it's close for the second.
So favour 1 and a potential measure.
Shoes fall there, just past the jacket. It's about an inch past Jack High.
Looks like he's travelling with a bit of speed here. He needs to land the ball, he doesn't want to turn it in. No, certainly made sure a second shot now. Pace just has to be right here to bend. If you're over the pace, it just won't get back. That's all he was, not much. Left Sam an opportunity here. If he could land the white ball again, he would make a 3.
Well, if you haven't joined us before this week, we're glad of your company. You'll hear some music in the background that's being played across the venue as it has been on the previous 2 days of the tournament. Some players say it just takes the edge off the arena and actually masks the sound of anybody that's moving around. The crowd that are watching, and he comes. Looks like he's played this pretty well.
Yeah, well played. I think a lot more stadiums are doing it, even just in the normal day-to-day running. I know we at my club in Arbroath we play music now just all the time, just takes a little bit of the atmosphere away, as you say. That sort of, especially in a big event like this, if you don't have nothing playing, then a crisp packet or a sweetie packet just been open, you hear everything because it's right there beside you, so the music just kind of takes all that away. Stewart maybe going to look to attack this.
It's going firm.
He's giving it a close look. Where's the jack going? Oh, he flipped across the front of it.
Well, there's a little result for him. Sam's having a look, slaps the thigh, which indicates that Stewart has changed things, but will it be a measure? Yeah, they'll call for an umpire to measure that. I don't think I've seen the hands above the head trying to look down move before that Sam was using. So it was some work for Neil Bryce. That was a pretty good result, but you called the shot that he had to play it up there.
Yeah, he was on the target. Then he just had to rely on a little bit of luck. But to be fair, if he moved the jack, it was possibly going to come in his favour anyway. So he was always going to be removing at least one.
Firm contact on the ball, move round to the other side.
It looks like it's Stewart's.
Yeah, I'll do a double check. The ball that comes out that is moved by the umpire is the shot. And that was the shot for Stewart Anderson.
One shot, Stewart Anderson.
We're tied up at 4 after 5 ends, and what's been a very entertaining start to this second semi-final. Last 3 finals here at the Scottish International Open have all been Scotland-England affairs. Will that be the case again? And for that to happen, Stewart Anderson has to go through.
Meters.
I was actually looking back, Dad, to see when the last All-England final was in this competition. 2007.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Andy Thompson, who plays under the English flag, defeated Mark Royal in that final. Stewart just a little shorter than he would have liked.
Yep, good start from Sam.
His balls look like they just have a very nice finish to them.
Yeah, and to be honest, he's obviously playing the backhand really well, but this hand is such a good hand that any time he's been forced on it, he's played it well. So it'll be interesting to see if at any stage he just actually decides to switch over to this forehand. I think he's going to get forced down it a lot because a lot of the balls do just shape under the jack on the forehand, and it's going to get in his road on the backhand. So by default, I think he's going to end up playing a lot more balls down the forehand. So it might be as well just making that his hand to play, because it is a good hand.
It's a good place to be.
One down.
Doesn't alter the intention of Stewart Anderson. There's one up or one down here.
Definitely coming down at a better pace this time. Just doesn't want the gap.
That's twice in a row coming down this way that he's found a gap that he didn't want.
In fairness, he's probably quite happy where he's ended, because it was the type of end where I'm having two just short of the jack. He was leaving the door open for Sam to, trail a jack to make a 3. Now Sam's just got to play the perfect draw. So he's been a little unfortunate to find the gap, but he's finished in a really good spot, to be fair. I think it'll change anything for Sam. It's just more of a good dead draw now, as we would call it. Just try and come up and get as close into the jack as he can. Best result's probably just coming round the jack for Sam. Back toucher would be ideal. Push this one out a little wider. Quite make its way back.
Change the intention, I suspect, of Stewart Anderson. crowd inside this venue for this second semi-final. Stewart doesn't go through that gap again. And the groan tells you what you need to know. Just get ends like that, don't you? It just doesn't quite work.
Yeah, you do, you know, and he wasn't far away with both his attempts, but he played them the right way. You know, if he had got a touch of the jack there, he was making a 2. Just finding a really tight set like this one has been. This is a free draw for Sam, and you want to try and take this. Don't think there's going to be much given in this set, so you know, if you've got even 6 or 7 inches at this level to draw, you'd want to take your opportunity.
Just looks a little lazy.
Yeah, not taking it.
Well, the umpire's been called on. So the balls will be supported just to make sure they don't fall over. Yeah, the back yellow ball isn't in. Sam removes that. Close enough for the calipers. Need a steady hand. Just ignore the fact that hundreds of people are staring at you. To get the perfect contact between the jack and the widest part of the ball. So it's mat time again for Sam Tolchard.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, it was closer for shot than perhaps we thought when he held it.
I was confident, Paul. I was confident. Not,
Sorry, the royal we doesn't apply there.
I'm not sitting on any fences.
So Sam Tolchard with the advantage. 3 ends to play, 1 in it. All of the first sets that Sam has played this week, 7-6, 9-7, 8-6, they have been very, very tight.
Yeah, and he's delivered a reasonably good opener here. Right up to it, I think. Front toucher.
My touch. A slight gap, Sam, just daylight through it. Or is it just that?
Sam Tolchard just checking because I think the ball may have fallen there.
1.5 inches.
Yeah, the ball has fallen. That does make a difference in terms of whether it was right up against. The marker was suggesting there was just a little glimpse of daylight. Just a little bit more now.
A little surprised to see Sam change his hand. I know he's playing both hands well, so nothing wrong with it, but he's just played a really good ball. You know, you'd think you would just draw around the front toucher. You'd now have to find a new line, a new weight. He doesn't want to come in wide in this. Doesn't want to sit off his own. And that's the danger. Lies 2, but it's a much better shot now for Stewart. Thought he would just keep his hand, add a little bit of pace. There was plenty of room to draw around his own. Stewart's pulled this tight, I think.
Yeah, that's going to go under quite quickly. It's interesting, isn't it? Because he played that shot and it didn't quite work for what Sam Tolchard was looking for, he's baited Stewart into the obvious reply, which is the running shot.
Yeah.
And again, I guess the fact that there's now a little bit more of a gap, that if you'd come up previously with drawing weight and touched the ball, it would have scooted the jack.
Yeah, I think when it fell back and there was 1.5 inches of daylight, that made it even more, just keep your hand, add a foot of running, anything sort of drawn round it was good at that stage. But, he could equally do it on the hand he went onto, but the danger was it's a new line, a new weight, and he's ended up coming up alongside his own. And, while Stewart's missed his first runner, I don't see him missing it again, if I'm being honest.
Sam Tolchard has to decide, does he take cover at the back already in anticipation of what his opponent will do?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to draw round inside Stewart's back one, so it's a counting shot and a bit of cover. It's a good ball.
Yeah, achieves both of those aims. Stewart will go again. He likes this one a little bit more.
Still think he's under.
I think he's going to dip, yeah.
Very surprised. He's went at that just with firm pace. I thought he might go a little bit quicker that time just to take a bit of difficulty out of it. He's in a heap of trouble now.
It's the problem, isn't it, when you're committed to that drive shot and you don't get it.
He's only got one ball on the green as well, so he's relying on a bit of fortune with his last one.
Sam Tolchard just trying to work out what might happen, where it might go, should it be hit.
Lots of decisions for Sam here. You could argue that drawing a ball about a foot short, just stopping Stewart, getting straight to that split is the perfect ball. But I think Sam will be wary that Stewart's still got the deepest sort of white ball at the back, so it would make Stewart's task very hard if he could just draw to the middle and stop that sort of running shot. It's not an easy draw for Stewart.
I think given the fact that Stewart's only got one on the green, you want this in counting. It doesn't have to be overly close. Doesn't expand the target. Round he comes.
Yeah, it's another good ball. Yeah, it's a...
And I know, Dan, it's not the deepest back one, but I think that's the perfect shot, because you are saying, look, you've got one ball on the green, you're going to come through perhaps with a heavy one. I'll take my chances.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as I say, I'm surprised, obviously Stewart's missed this twice, but there's now a lot of pressure on him. He's 4 down. He's going to have to correct. He's been tight twice. Important not to overcorrect. Definitely a little bit firmer. Closer.
Much better line. What's he going to get result-wise? Well, I'll tell you what, I think he'll take that. He'll take that all day long. 4 down to 1.
I think the split was always going to give him a good result, and the only reason I called the draw just in front was that would have taken that shot away from Stewart and he would have been left in a real heap of trouble. He still had to execute it, but the split was always going to be a good result. Reducing that to 1 keeps him right in the set.
Yeah, Stewart Anderson will need to take, you suspect, the next 2 ends. Entertaining first set. Sam Tolchard with a 2-shot advantage. 2 to play.
Length 30 meters.
opening up on his favoured hand.
Yeah, it's a decent one. It's going to come across and make the forehand draw difficult. Yeah, Stewart switching right away onto the backhand as well. He hasn't put many down this hand in the match.
It's going to be a little bit across the line.
Good again. He's having an early run. He's got to hold. Just to get the other side of it, really. Yeah, it's always just going to lock in on that side. Still one removed.
My ball just short, Jack Kyle. 10 inches short of Jack Kyle. What's Stu's nearest? Just past, is it, please? 3 inches past Jack Kyle.
He's going to try and play up and inside that white ball of Stewart Anderson. Off the forehand. Looks down as if he doesn't like it.
Pushed us out on a very wide line. Pushed through it as well, I think. Yeah. Don't think he wanted that.
So 8-inch gap.
I wonder if Stewart might come down and have a look at this. I think it's open for him from the angle that we can see.
Yeah, I think it should really just be a draw, I think, to be honest. He's capable of drawing this. He's on a good track. It's all on pace from there. He turns the jack, he makes a 2. Just over.
There's no danger there for Sam to be worried about. Might be lying.
Well, actually it's developed into a strange sort of end because Sam probably needs another ball in the head in case Stewart removes his ball, but there's also the outside chance of the jack getting flicked off to the left re-spot as we look. And Stewart's got 3 shots out there. Can't cover everything, Sam. See there, the 3 white balls all at one side of the ring, and the re-spot's just in the middle of them. I think the percentages is he's got to just get another one in. I think the ball's the easier removal for Stewart, so he'll either try and draw just inside Stewart's jack high ball. Even if he drew in between the 2 white ones, he would stop the jack trail.
Wants this to run.
He's just going to sit on the outside, so he's not really done anything to stop Stewart here. It's a similar ball for Stewart, just try and turn the jack a foot, make 2 or 3 shots.
They feel that he'll need to score because you don't want to be 3 down playing the last end. He wants to have another look. Might just be checking the angle on the re-spot to see just where that yellow ball comes in. Yeah, he's having a look across.
difficulty for Stewart is if he thought his third ball was good and he just didn't quite get back, then psychologically you think it's maybe just not on that shot, so then you start doubting it and you look at other things, and I can only imagine that's perhaps what's going through his mind, is that he felt he was good with his last one and it just didn't get back to the jack. Sticking with it.
This is not easy.
He's very close, he's dropped the pace, he's got the jack this time.
Takes the jack.
Perfect.
Well, you called it. There was the opportunity to come in and make 3.
3 shots, Stewart Anderson, set score 7-6 after 8 ends.
Just felt that area was vulnerable for Sam. It had to be played and it took a great ball to play it, but at this level you just don't want to be leaving the doors open for your opponents. Amazingly now takes a 1-shot lead into the last end.
Oh, he was looking at losing the set, or virtually losing the set, because if you're chasing a 3, it's usually pretty hard to get, but all of a sudden Stewart Anderson with a spring in his step.
Jack length, 30.5 metres.
I guess, Dan, that's what makes this such a great sport to sit and watch. Just that ebb, the flow of this whole set, and all of a sudden it's advantage back to the Scotsman.
Yeah, it's a funny game at times.
It's a good opening ball as well.
Just travelling.
Everybody needed to try and stop on the yellow ball.
His line was good, he just overplayed it. Big chance for Sam.
Oh, he's urging it up. Which is usually a bad sign.
Certainly not going to make the draw for Stewart on the backhand any easier, I thought.
That's horribly in the way. It's 2 shots as well.
So it's a set lie. It's probably stopping Stewart drawing on that hand. He'll have to switch over to his forehand. Nothing in the way. Just a case of trying to get the right line and weight.
He's keeping a keen eye on this. Is it going to slip through as well?
He might get the second shot.
Do that falling down. Both players will come and have a look.
He might have got the second shot. It's hard to tell from our angle.
Sam Tolchard has 2 balls left. Stewart Anderson just the 1. Doesn't really change what I would expect Sam's going to do, and just try and draw in again.
Yeah, I mean, Sam's just got to draw another shot. You know, if he thinks he's line 2, then he might be thinking, "Oh, I don't want to build it up anymore." But if he can't be certain he's line 2, then he has to draw another shot. It's as simple as that. You know, put the pressure on Stewart with 1 ball to come. You lie the set.
There's no shot clock at the Scottish International Open, so the players can take their time. Shot clock rules, you do get timeouts. No such need.
Looks decent.
Keeps on coming. Oh, no doubt now.
He's made a 3. Yeah. Made a 3, and I think it leaves Stewart with nothing but to try and draw.
Basically, the positive thing from Stewart's point of view is there is a ball to just go in and rest on.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to correct too much from his last, to be fair. Well, he's chasing it early. Needs to run. I don't think he's pushed this.
No, it's not up. Didn't look up at all. And Sam
Excellent
Tolchard
shot. Sam Tolchard.
will continue this magnificent run on the Scottish International Open. He's now reeled off 7 consecutive sets. He leads in the semi-final by 1-0.
Yeah, and I guess the balance of the set, I would say, probably just shaded the consistency in the set. I felt Stewart was the one that was having to produce big balls at the right time. You know, obviously the 3 at the second last end was a great last ball from Stewart, but I think over the course of the set, Sam probably lay most of the consistent heads.
Stewart will just be a little bit cross at himself with that last ball. Not up, no chance, is the old adage.
Probably just a bit disappointed in his last end in general, to be honest. You know, he never really got a ball within 18 inches, which for somebody of Stewart's ability is you know, that wouldn't often happen, but especially when you've played such a big ball to take yourself one up going into the last end, he would have looked to try and get his first one right in, close to the jack. It just never quite happened.
So the start of a new set. Sam Tolchard had taken the opening set. And let's go again, reset the focus. Stuart Anderson dropped the opening set against David Bolt and came back to win the second and take the tie break, and he's opened up well here. Running out will be the shot. Oh, it's close as he fell out.
Maybe you're 1 down, Stuart.
See, I was brave there.
Good call. You're
Learning slowly.
You're coming off the fence. I like to see that. Just going to get the back of the bowl, I think. Certainly be the shot now, because just any contact on an indoor surface just shuffles the ball ever so slightly. Doesn't happen so much outdoor, but indoor, a little contact will just move Sam's ball slightly closer.
Oh, he's urging this one forward.
Close. Not quite as close as his other one.
No favour, 1 down.
One of the things I was going to mention is both players are playing to quite a long length. At what point, perhaps, is the player who's chasing a little bit, and that's been Stewart, change that?
Yeah, I think it's a good point. You know, I think Stewart's the one that would have to change it. I think Sam will be quite happy the way the game has went. Coming in for a shot this time.
Used his own nicely. Both shots available, both sides. He can either play into his own, try and turn over, or play the open hand to cover rest on the ball that is shot.
Yeah, I think Sam will stick with his backhand here. He's played it most of the match, and just look to come on to the white ball, as you say, or turn the jack. It's okay. If he comes with the jack, he's fine. Best results probably getting up to Stewart's and falling back on the jack. He could make 2 or 3.
Here comes the yellow and the blue.
Just not. Is he making it back? Not quite. No, just felt he was on that one ball outside the line. Good effort, because if he had sat on that ball, he would have fallen back onto the jack.
Stewart Anderson having dropped the first set, looking to get off to a bright start in the second.
Yeah, and he can play a brave shot here. You know, he can play a really good full draw at this, because the turn of the jack's only going to help him. First part's to draw the shot, but you know, if he does happen to turn the jack, it's a big bonus. It's very close. Oh, that's what he tried.
Yep. Well, there's the consolation of taking the shot.
One shot, Stewart Anderson. 1-0 first time.
We'll be interested to see what he does with the mat here. And how the jack length is going to go.
Still looks like it's coming up to the tee.
28.5 metres.
28.5 metres, so he's still comfortable.
Yeah, good opener.
Well, the good news for Stewart there is his hand is still available to him. He just looks a little pacey.
Yeah, he's not been as consistent as he normally would be.
It's just starting to look a little like the same end going this way, away from us in the commentary box as it was last time. And he did drop a 3.
Better this time.
You can hear the Scottish crowd urging it forwards. Played it nicely. And unusually just stayed up.
Yeah, just a nice glide off the front ball. He was always in the area. Weight was good. So we're just putting a bit of run at this. It'll sit wide, I think, on this hand. A little surprised. I thought he would have just kept his draw. You know, he could have turned the jack for 2 on a draw rather than. Don't think he needs all that pace really to play the shot he's trying.
Yeah, you can see from that angle it looked an attractive shot, but
Yeah.
he could have just achieved it with a draw as well.
Yeah, when he basically just had to touch Stewart's ball, it falls out, he makes a 2, turns the jack, he makes a 2. It's one of these ones, I think, the more weight he played at it, the harder it became.
Wider line for Stewart Anderson. With that wider line, a little bit of weight.
Problem is, Sam plays the way he's playing and he flicks the jack, he's going to give 3 or 4 shots away, so to me it looks like a draw all day long. You know, he just has to draw and basically just sits Stewart's ball down, he's guaranteeing the shot, perhaps a 2. Comes up there and sort of slices the jack, it's 3 white balls waiting on it.
He's certainly not short.
He has definitely tempered the weight this time though, he's close.
Yep.
Very close, played it well, tempered the weight, that was the way to play it. Just perhaps got through his third one, that was maybe what he was trying with his third one, to be fair, and just overplayed it, but definitely played that one with the right pace, and what a result. Great 3 shots.
Definitely a nice pickup. Stewart Anderson punished for just being a little bit through with 3 of his 4 balls. And Sam Tolchard, that's a lovely ball. Oh, he'll continue with the long jack.
Length, 40.5 metres.
Yeah, we mentioned the possibility of Stewart going to the shorter jack. It just, when you're still in a game, you just think, is that going to be too extreme to change? But there'll come a point where you'll need to try and upset Sam.
I think he'll know his sell, like Stewart's been around long enough, he'll know his sell, he's second best at the moment in this game. You know, Sam is the more consistent, so I think the onus is on Stewart to try something. You know, he could end up just going the same way for the rest of the match and not get the set. So, you know, for me, it's Stewart's got to make that call and that decision, because Sam's going to be quite happy with the status quo. You know, he's quite happy with the lengths, and it's probably just shading the consistency there. So I'm a little surprised Stewart hasn't just tried something different.
Well, he hits it and then comes round the corner. Last 3 years, this Scottish International Open has provided a variety of finalists, including Simon Skelton, Jamie Walker and Alan Johnston. And Stewart Anderson plays a beautiful ball, and it is Englishman Sam Tolchard who's looking to continue that list.
The last one, there's a 2-inch gap.
I think Sam will be tempted to come down the forehand here. An inviting shot really, he's got his own ball coming in. If he sort of promotes that, gets inside his own ball, that's the ideal result. Down onto Stewart's ball or the jack.
Yes,
Just a runner.
Waiting.
Yeah, just a runner. It'll not be anything, you know, he'll just play over the pace, I think. Give his cell as much opportunities as possible. Yeah, that's what he's trying.
Well, his
Looks
one
like-
at the last end was excellent,
It
wasn't it?
looks like he's right into the area. It's just on connections now. Well, I think he's made it. Might have made two.
He has. Oh, what a great shot. And he's playing them particularly well, Stewart.
He was right into the area, to be fair, but it was one of these you would say you got an absolute maximum to make a two. Another day you get half your own and nothing. Stewart's played this well. Made it.
Well, hasn't made this easy for Sam.
Sam's just got to draw in really forehand. Try and draw inside the wide yellow one. Close to getting the corner of his own to make the shot.
Yeah, across it comes. There it is. It's been a fascinating end, this, isn't it?
And it's not finished yet because Stewart does have a shot. Could run into this and get the corner of his own ball, which he's looking at, then onto the yellow ball. These white ones are all going to lock in. He can make 3-4 shots. I think he'll play this. Big reward if he gets it right. He is a little bit wide and takes the line shot out, then he at least would be back line the shot. His ideal connection's just to get a corner of his own.
Here goes.
It's very close. Is he getting the jack? Well, if it's off the rink, he's okay. If it's not off the rink, he's probably still one down. And that looks like it's close to being on the line of the rink.
Well, they will check the ball in the ditch and then they will check to see. Yeah, the jack has stayed in, you can see that.
Oh yeah, so it's going to be Sam's, I think, because the ditches are quite deep, so the ball on the green's always the favourite in that one.
He was unlucky though, played it.
Good shot.
Yeah, he was half a ball out. He wanted to just get the corner of his own. Even getting the jack, he was unlucky not to score the end.
Well, plenty of ends left for Stewart Anderson, but he doesn't want to fall much further behind here. Sam Tolchard looking to add Stewart's name to his list this week of Robert Paxton, Michael Stepney and Les Gillett.
Jack length, 30.5 metres.
Oh, a little look down at his feet as if he didn't like this one. It's not the worst ball in the world, he just realised he's left a lot of room.
Not quite right with this one. That'll be disappointing for Stewart, is when the door's been open, he's not really managed to take it, and that's unlike him. Looks like there's going to be room here because it's trucking on a bit.
It's very unusual to see a player play a poorer second shot.
Yeah, having a quiet word with yourself, Sam, there.
Well, now the player has locked this one down.
Still looks like it's travelling a bit here.
Oh, now the player catching this end. Some really tight heads. This one a little bit looser. That's Stewart Anderson trying to find a way to drop on. I'm not sure he's got all he wants. Might be enough. No.
Yeah, it's a strange end. Don't often see both players drop off as badly as that. I think Sam's coming down with disbelief in his eyes there. You know, he's puzzled as to what's going on, but at the end of the day, he's got one ball to save it. Still a great opportunity to get one in nice and close here. Player that wins a poor end gets less frustrated than the player that loses it, that's for sure. So he still looks like he's got to slow up here. Now needs to start taking its bend. I think he's going to make it this time.
He'll be more relieved than anything there.
Stewart's looking at the angles here, I think, to see whether it's one or two.
He's asking for a little bit of assistance. Feeling it's just the one, so Stewart's back hole that you can see. Second shot.
Ordinarily, it should just be a draw for Stewart, but it's been such a poor end. He's probably contemplating running it, but you know, I think there's so much room. He should really draw it, get the one, and get yourself back into the set. Doesn't like it. He's pushed it out on a very, very wide line. Not going to get back. Not enough anyway.
Well, he knew it immediately.
One shot, some Tolchard. Set score 1-5 after 4.
It's one of these ends where you kick them in as quick as you can and get the jack rolled for the next one.
Yeah, nobody take a picture of that one. But from Sam Tolchard's point of view, he would be thrilled there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's... Say he'll be delighted. He's probably put his worst end of the match, and Stewart's kind of matched them, so it's a bit of relief for Sam, and he ticks another one onto the scoreboard, another end away, so it's definitely in Sam's favour, that end.
I think 30.5 metres.
So I'll be looking for a better opener just to settle the nerves once more.
Yeah. Not far away.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Normal services are resumed.
It's the best opening ball in the last few ends for Stewart Anderson.
No, Sam's very close here. Turns the jack, he makes a 2.
Sporting there from Stewart Anderson. Just acknowledging the shot of his opponent.
Just going to go under. Weight was good.
My ball, please, in relation to the jack. 1.5 inches short of jack high.
That is our marker, Martin Jenkins, just indicating it's 1.5 inches short of jack high. And where this finishes will dictate what Stewart Anderson will be thinking.
Yeah, Sam will be aware it's quite a wide target at the moment. He'll want to just try and improve the head here. Just sits on his own, he probably does that. Doesn't want to flop. It's just made it a little bit bigger. Right, we'll see a runner now from Stewart. Jack in the ditch, take some of the balls out. Is he giving it time to bend? Nope, he hasn't. He's been pretty poor by his own standards with his runners. In general in the match. It's a wide target for somebody of Stewart's ability. Maybe gambling to try and get the jack rather than perhaps, you know, the percentages, you know, get some of the balls out, but try and get the jack and you just send out a bowler too wide, it doesn't get back.
Yeah, not making any impact at all. Will disappoint him.
Well, decisions for Sam here. You know, he's aware Stewart's going to probably go again for sure, so you know, he can just sort of draw around the jack and finish his, you know, maybe 18 inches in behind and almost be counting another one, but give him a bit of protection through the head. He could try and turn the jack round the corner and put Stewart in a heap of trouble. That bowl nearest to the jack, you can see the pink spray chalk on it, that's a toucher, so you know, if that ball gets pushed through into the ditch, it remains live. So if he can just turn the jack round the corner, Stewart's in a real heap of trouble. Just wonder if he'll play this just to, you know, he knows if he misses it round the outside, he's coming to a good spot, and if he does happen to just turn the jack round the corner, it's a Brucey bonus. Looks like that's exactly what he's trying. Don't know if he's going to, is he getting back to it to flick it? No, but that's exactly what he played and he's finished in a good spot. I think he knew if he could just turn that jack round the corner, he had Stewart in a heap of trouble.
Well, Stewart will scratch the head because there's very little to commend.
Don't think it'll change Stewart's shot. He just has to trust he's going to hit the target this time. Almost needs to get a clean jack to guarantee scoring the end.
He's going to start running out of ends. He needs this. So Tolchard just put him under the pressure. Just resets himself. Let's fly.
He's certainly closer.
Keeping a real eye on it.
Yeah, brilliant. Got the shot. I think
That's a big moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big moment, and I think, you know, that's exactly why Sam tried to tuck that jack round the corner, because if he had, then Stewart would have been pushing Sam's toucher onto the jack and he wouldn't have got that result, so he still had to play it. It was a massive bowl, but it was a decent target in fairness. I didn't see him missing the target, it was just a case of was he going to get a good result at the end of it, and he got a perfect result.
So there is an alteration in jack length here. The mat is up.
Jack length 26 metres.
So 26 metres. Between 2 and 3 metres of a difference. You've changed the length, you know you're going to try and get something pretty close.
Oh, that's coming up a very tight line. Can't be right. No, it's gone now.
This might just take a bowl or two to adjust to the length. The first one wasn't there, here comes the second.
It's not there either. It's the pace. It's, you know, it's unlike Stewart not to play. He's usually that's what he's excellent at, is the pace. He's normally tuned into the speed of the rink. And shake of the head, he gives me that every time he's in here. He criticises me for shaking the head, and I've counted it. I've done a few of his games this week. That's about the 15th time he's shook his head.
Definitely his tell.
He's just leaving the door open for Sam, and he's not going to miss these opportunities.
It's the shot for Sam Tolchard.
Problem is, if you overcorrect, which I think he's done, you can't afford to be short 3 times, and it's just that overcorrection, you know, you just push it a little bit too hard. I think he's made the right call to change the jack. He's just going to be disappointed it hasn't really reset him, you know. He's been lacking a little bit of consistency at the other jack length, so it was the right decision to change, but unfortunately he's not tuned in any better, and Sam's well played. It's going to make a draw difficult. Be running these balls off.
That's the decision that he's
No,
made.
he's underneath, he needs a lot of luck here.
Punch his own.
Not this time. He was off target, to be fair. He was relying on a bit of fortune. Didn't get it. A massive end in this set, I think.
Yeah.
Especially if Sam adds another.
Well, if it goes to 8-2, which it potentially could do, of course Stewart has to win the set. A tie is no use to him.
Yeah, no mistake made. In for these 3.
Well, Stuart Anderson knew he had to try something different because the game was getting away from him.
Set score 2-8
But it
after
just
6
didn't work.
ends.
And Sam Tolchard is knocking on the door of his first Scottish International Open final. And potentially the first All-England affair since 2007.
Yeah, there might be a good deal on Saltire flags this afternoon.
Coming up, yeah.
Yeah, he's been good value for it, Sam, to be fair. He's played pretty consistent the whole
Playing
match.
30.5 metres.
And he's 7 shots in 3 ends. It's not impossible. And he needs to start picking up. Mark Dawes, and potentially at the moment Sam Tolchard will become the first Englishman to win this title since Greg Harlow back in 2016. it comes.
Yes, Sam switching over to his forehand now. His line's excellent. Is he running? Don't think he's quite going to make it.
Not where he wants to be.
Great line for Stewart. It's all about pace now. Looks good. Well played.
Round clean. Well, the good thing from Stewart's point of view, he's been around, as you mentioned, quite a while. He's seen all types of scores, being up, being down, so this won't faze him.
No, he's probably now relaxed, to be honest, thinking, well, probably game over, but sometimes that's when you just find the best bit of your game, when you just relax that little bit and possibly think, well, the task is too big now. You know, it just sometimes makes you play a little bit more free, so Sam will be aware of that. He has to manage this game out now. Doesn't want to give Stewart opportunities to make 2s and 3s. It'll just build Stewart's confidence. This is underplayed, unfortunately, for Stewart. And that's been a bit of the story of the game. He's played one good one, followed by a couple of loose ones. He's struggled to build consistency over an end, and that's usually what he's, one of the best in the world at doing. So, just shows you everybody can have a slightly off day.
Chance to try this one down. Sam Tolchard.
A bit of a free draw for Sam. You're probably just trying to draw as close a second as you can. If you do happen to draw the shot, it's a bonus. E2's underplayed it though. A little chance for Stewart just to draw a shot. If he does happen to draw on the back of the jack, could push it back up for a 3. It's important he definitely makes the 2. 1 is unlikely to be enough.
Great.
It's all on pace because this will come back. He's very close.
He's giving us a good chance. Round he comes.
Does he fall back onto the jack? Not quite. It's good. Excellent ball.
Well, it's still
Let's
a big
go
ask,
4-8 after 7 ends.
but he's still got a pulse in this Scottish International Open 2025. Having tried the short jack, I think he's just gone back to the safety of the longer one.
Yeah.
Jack length 28.5 metres.
I guess, Dan, all you're looking to do here is try and get in the first couple, just put a little bit of pressure on your opponent.
Yeah, it's better than he's been the previous few ends going this direction, but it's just still coming up on the neater side. That's what he has to do though. He has to win the first 2 balls battle first and then see what he can develop in the end from there. He's needing 5 shots across the remaining 2 ends. It's a tall ask, but Sam's just went a little bit loose. A couple of loose ones the last end. Doesn't matter how good a player you are, sometimes you just see the winning post a little bit early. Stewart will sense that. Big bowl for Sam. One good bowl would be enough maybe to see him through.
All the spectators may be enjoying the drama. Sam Tolchard wants to turn the channel off and just get one in there.
Looks like he's a little quick again. Just starting to get a little uncomfortable.
There's really only one end where
Stewart, what have you done?
he went walkabout, but this one's not there.
Yeah, I don't think Sam's really needing to have a look. I think this is it's intelligent to be honest, but I think he's needing a timeout just to control his emotions. I don't think anything in the head is really going to interest him. I think it's more a buy, sell a little bit of time to try and reset, refocus, and he knows one good ball probably gets him into the final. You just draw the shot here, he makes it so difficult for Stewart.
Third ball from Stuart Anderson, just dropping it short rather than ratcheting up the pressure. He's an experienced international player, Sam Tolchard, but on the verge of his first Scottish International Open final. Be forgiven a couple of nerves.
How heavy is he?
Looks like he's cooked it.
How heavy is he? I think he's still running through here.
Yep. Same ball. Now Stewart, you need this in for a 3 and then ask the question.
I don't think Stewart could probably believe he's going to get this much room to, and actually perhaps get a 3 without even having to play a ball, just drawn in. No mistake this time, he's right in there. Brilliant ball. Well, Sam, what do you do now? Do you risk driving it to try and take 1 or 2 out, damage limitation? The only thing is, if you miss it slightly wide, you could wipe all your own out, lose a 4. But he's just struggled with his draw, and to be honest, I think he's either going to get second shot or nothing, because it's hard, because balls 2 and 3 are about the same distance away. If you don't beat one of them, you're not beating the other one.
Them both.
So it does give him a bit of a dilemma, this.
Would you be tempted off? I mean, the backhand is obviously open for the drive, but he could take out his own. The other hand, a little bit narrower, because if you're going to plough into the white balls, you surely aren't going to get rid of all your own.
No, I think the forehand probably offers him a little bit of protection. It would be hard to wipe his own out. It probably, looking at the shape of the head, it limits the target you're trying to hit on the forehand, because the backhand offers you you're looking at the whole head there in the backhand, whereas in the forehand you're probably trying to hit one ball. But it does probably offer him a little bit of protection. Just think his first 3 balls have been so far away. He's got to be tempted to run this, I think. Knows even if he takes 1 ball out, Stewart still needs a 3 the next end.
In such are the highs and lows of sport. In the next 15-20 seconds, he could be celebrating a place in a final, or fighting still to get there. Lets it go.
He's getting one, that's okay.
Well, that's better than nothing.
It's okay in that Stewart now still needs a 3.
2 shots.
What will
So it's
concern
got
him
6
is
after 8
his last 2 ends, he's just went a little bit walkabout, and it's not how he's played this whole match, so it can only be the situation, and that's understandable.
Well, it went down to
And
the last
28
end
28.5
in
metres.
set number 1.
28
It's
and a
going down to the last end in set number 2. Sam Tolchard has the advantage that he can afford to lose 2. And he would go through. First ball, critical.
Stewart's just suddenly started to find it a little bit. Probably wondering where that first ball's been for a lot of the match, but he's just started to play a bit more consistent. Consequence of that is it's knocked Sam off his stride a little, so Sam will be keen to get this first one in as close as he can. Take a little bit of pressure off himself. I don't think he's running.
It's so interesting to see when you're so close to achieving something. If we go back to earlier this week, Robert Gordon was on the verge of potentially taking the first set off Paul Foster and just couldn't find where he wanted to go. And now Stewart Anderson is applying the pressure here.
Tell you something, Sam might be tempted. He might be tempted at these balls. He might give himself one more opportunity to draw, but yeah, I think this is why he's given it a lot of thought. He knows it's drawable, and 4 ends ago he would have went up there and drawn a toucher, but he's just at a part of the game where he seems to have lost the pace a little bit.
Stewart. Yeah. How far short of Stewart? Stewart's ball's about 15 inches short of Jack Kai.
Backhand. He is running it. Knows if he gets the 2 balls off, he wins the game. He's close. Oh, he's pushed onto the jack.
Well, it's a horrible result for him.
And he's going to be 2 down when he faces his next ball. There's no way that Stewart's failing to draw a second. It's all starting to get a little uncomfortable for Sam. He was hoping to get these 2 white balls out of there. That would have ended the match because Stewart could only get a 2 then. Fortunately for Sam, he didn't get the right connection. Stewart is in again. Not much of a target either, so I think Sam's forced into a 4-hand draw.
Well, it looked like he was in command, but at the moment he's still got an awful lot of work to do.
Four-hand draw.
Remember, he can afford to lose 2 to tie the set, he cannot afford to lose 3.
Looks a little quick. Don't think this will stop. Massive chance for Stewart to draw a third. This is incredible end to this set.
Well, first things first for the Scot. Stewart Anderson mentioned 16-1 in the last 4 years in this event. He's always found a way. Now he rolls one in here, and there's a heap of pressure on his opponent. Needs to draw this or it's academic.
He's up, I think. He's good.
Here he comes.
He's done it. He's done it. Well, decision time for Sam Tolchard, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him run this. I just feel he's drawn part of his game's it's just disappeared at the moment. I would not be surprised to see him just run this, and he takes one ball out, he gets over the line, and that's, that's it in a nutshell.
The crowd are gripped by this. It was unexpected. He was 6 up with 3 to play. Set lie against. It's the final or it's a tie break.
He's tight. It's a tie break.
Oh, Sam Tolchard didn't give it a chance. And you've got to say, Stewart Anderson has done the unexpected there. 6 down with 3 to play, and he takes the second set. We go to a tie break.
I'm actually, not often I sit here, but I'm in a state of shock. I just couldn't see it happening, and I can only imagine Sam's just, the finish line's been in sight, and he's just released his game. He was in such control of the match. He was playing well. He now has to try and put that in the back of his mind, and that won't be easy.
You mentioned it during commentary, Darren, that Stewart almost got to the point where he thought, okay, I'm done. Let's just relax and play it out, and all of a sudden...
I think players genuinely at that
Jack
point
length,
played
30 and a
out the
half
best
metres.
part of their game.
30 and a half metres.
But even that said, he relied on Sam going off, because if Sam had kept playing the way he was, it didn't matter what Stewart did, he wasn't getting these required shots. It needed a bit of both. It needed Stewart to get on his game and Sam to lose his, and it just seemed to be his drawn weight disappeared the last 3 ends.
It's really hard not to feel for Sam Tolchard. As I mentioned, solidly experienced player. And you'll be wondering where that kind of ball was in the last couple of ends. If you're new to the tie-break format, maximum of 3 ends, only 1 shot can be scored. At an end, it's not cumulative shots. And the first player to 2, with the prize at stake, a place in the Scottish International Open final. Stewart Anderson is chasing this one. It's just going to be a little bit short. Oh. Last season, neither of the semi-finals went to a tie-break. In fact, just 2 of the last 7 Scottish International Open semi-finals have gone all the way to a tie-break. Wants to come behind with this one.
Closer.
Crowd like it. So Anderson likes it. And here's the shot.
Well, possibly forces Sam into another runner.
Gives me a chance to ask the question. If Stewart, he hadn't checked out the game, we talked about he's relaxed. Now how does he feel, almost having to get back into full game mode?
Yeah, I think, he's Stewart's, as I say, he's a seasoned campaigner. He's probably as surprised as anybody that he's in this position, but he's going to take a lot of lift out of that. In fairness, Sam's put a couple of decent bowls in this first end of the tie-break, which won't have been easy for him. It's bound to still be in his mind what has just happened, but at the moment he's got to focus on this. It's a good opportunity here to drive this jack through into the ditch.
Keeping a close eye on it. Might get his own actually.
Still going to be still going to want Stewart, I think.
Stewart's 2 bowls to play. Sam has 1.
Just fancy the way the game is now. I fancy Stewart will draw this one in pretty close. Looks good.
Oh, he likes it. Well, that's not what you want to see. if you're Sam Tolchard.
Well, I guess it's on connections. We don't really know what happens with the, we need to see the line of the jack, where it's going to go. Is it going to bounce onto Sam's back bowls? It's quite hard from here for us to tell, if he was to manage to hit Stewart's bowl, where is the jack going? Is it going past the yellow bowls? Is it going onto them? What direction is it going to go after that? That's all the things he's going to have to be weighing up here. I can't see him drawing it. It's only about 2 inches off the jack, so I think he's going to have to try and push it onto the jack somehow.
It's to push it onto the jack and for it to spring out as we look to the left, but that, with the right contact, that I think is going to connect to the yellow ball at the back.
Yeah, it certainly looks like the jack's going to be running close to these yellow balls just at the back, and then thereafter we might not know what way it'll go after that. But I think that's his only hope, is to just arrive on this and push the ball into the jack. He's very close. He's not getting the connection.
Well, you can see where he wanted. But it's Stewart Anderson who takes the opening tie break. And just over the course of the match, Stewart Anderson's now won 5 of the last 6 ends. It's the indication of how strongly he's come through. It's good to see the players just getting a little conversation. So now it's Stewart Anderson who's one end away.
Yeah, and it's it's going to be a tough one for Sam to take if he doesn't go over the line in this one.
Jack length 29 metres.
If a long drive home thinking about it, I would think. It's quite hard to believe. Yeah, I just couldn't see it happening the way the game had went.
Yeah, there are games that just stick in your memory, and sometimes human nature, it's the ones that got away that tend to stick more.
And Stewart, to be fair, has just stepped up a notch. He realises the opportunity is now there. He's playing his best bowls of the game, because he's really been, by Stewart's standards, pretty inconsistent for 85% of the match. And he's suddenly started to find his gears.
Oh, what an opening ball from Stewart Anderson. Here's the opening reply from Sam Tolchard, and that looks like it's coming through. Yeah, struggled in the last few ends with his opening ball. Tempted to have a run. He's playing the right shot here.
He's down a better track for his bowls. All on pace to get back now. Just not going to make it.
Close. Close does not get you the reward you're looking for. Change his hand. Just look to come and match that ball. Just see if there was to be any trail that he'd be the recipient of it. Just come through. He has the respot on that side. It's tough for Sam because he'll be doubting himself.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's only natural that everything now would probably, everything that he looks at probably comes with a fair degree of difficulty because your confidence is pretty low at this point. He just has to try and find one good ball, win the end, and set himself up to go down to that last end shootout. It's the back he set to play one.
Tie breaks are always gripping affairs, but when you're on the threshold of the final.
He's running this on the backhand, there's no way he's trying to draw it, so this is a run-up.
Here goes, plenty of pace.
Oh, he could be away with his own here.
Oh, he has. Well, if you're Stewart Anderson, you're now having a look to see what happens if it's hit. You don't quite have the best back ball. Well, you've got a choice here, I suspect, of...
I think if Stewart's got both respots, then to me he just comes deep.
Comes back, yeah. That's, and I think he does have both respots, even if the shot ball gets taken out.
Yeah.
I think he is covered, so therefore you want if you're covered left, you're covered right, complete the trinity by getting best back ball. A bowling rink can be a lonely place. That's what Sam Tolchard is finding at the moment. Anderson wants to come around the back to get the best back ball. And that's precisely what he's done. Well, there's a match lie, and this is a big shot for the Englishman.
I don't think he's got anything on but to try and draw the shot. Probably the last thing he wants to be playing at this stage of the match, the way it's went, but genuinely don't think he has any other shot than a forehand draw. Nothing else guarantees him anything.
Sam Tolchard, match against in this tie break. Can he find a moment of magic?
It's very close. What's he getting?
Giving it a chance.
Oh, I think Stewart's ball's won him the game.
And it's the back ball that wins it. Well, remarkable. Sam Tolchard looked to be on the very verge of his first final. But Stewart Anderson somehow conjured up a little bit of magic. And in the end, took that second set and took the tie break as well. Hard not to feel for Sam Tolchard, but it's Stewart Anderson who returns to the Scottish International Open Final, and he's looking to become the first Scot to win it on 4 occasions and equal the record held by John Price. What an afternoon it has been at the West Lothian Indoor Bowling Club. Do join us. We have the young singles final coming up at 2 o'clock. Thomas Jameson against Caden Young, and then the final. We didn't expect it to be about 20 minutes ago, but it is Mark Dawes against Stewart Anderson. For Darren Burnett and myself, Paul Mitchell, thanks for watching. We look forward to your company a little bit later on this afternoon.